hefty people, this is Ellen with EGI Designs, and thanks so much for stopping by today. I had just recently made this beautiful 49 and Market Nostalgic Memories card, and this is how this goes. And I can link over to this card tutorial for you if you'd like to check out how it is. But this is actually a die that makes this, so I thought that was really awesome, and I didn't have to do all the intricate cuts and all that stuff, so just the die did it all for me. But anyway, so I wanted to make an envelope for this that was matching, so I wanted to use the Nostalgic Memories, the Solids Collection Pack. So I picked out one of the papers for that. I'm going to be using the 123 punch board by We Are Memory Keepers, and there is an online calculator for that, and I will link that over in the description box and over on my blog at egidesigns.com. And also in both locations I will put all the supplies that I'm using today, and if you're watching on a TV, I will put a QR code up top that you can take a photo with your camera on your phone, and it will link right over to the supply list. But on this calculator, this particular card is 5 1/4 by 5, so you put that in, and you can choose a one-layer card, multi-layer card, or if you're doing a box. And so in this case I have it as multi-layered because this the frame on here is popped up. I'm not sure if you can see that. And there's lots of other pieces going on with this. So we need an 8 1/2 by 8 1/2 square, and our score line, which will make more sense, is at 4 3/16. Alright, so let's get this out of the way. So we need a trimmer that can go out to 8 1/2. Today I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz rotary, and this has an arm on the bottom and the top that goes out to those measurements. So the 8 1/2 would be over here. Okay, so we have our 8 1/2 square. Alright, if you're not familiar, this is the 123 punch board by We Are Memory Keepers, and if you combine with that online calculator, you can pretty much make any size for any kind of weird card shape that you need, and just regular cards too. I love to make my own envelopes, so this is really like my most favorite thing that I have to do that. And so you just extend out the arm. Alright, so if you remember before, the score line we need is 4 3/16. So this is in eighths, so you need to kind of calculate what you need there. So 4 1/8 is actually 2/16, and then the next line here is 1/4, which would be 4/16. So in between those two you would have the 3/16. So you line it up there and you punch it, and then you take, I like to use my Cricut scoring tool, and you just draw the score line down there, and then you're going to rotate it towards the left, and this line will lock into this line. So that's where you know you need to be, so you can kind of feel it if you go. And then once that's locked in, you want to make a note of where this lines up on this side. So in this case we have it, let's see, we're at the 1/4, and it's kind of in between that. So it'll be on a 16th, 5/16. And the opposite sides are the same measurements. So if you write it down, it will save you time as you're going around. So then we're going to turn it again to the left, and now we're back to the 4 3/16. And then this one will be back to the 4 5/16. And this envelope is pretty much almost square. That's why those measurements were so close in being only 2/16 away. So on the back side of this, there is a punch, and this is a corner rounder. So you can go around and do that. And then we're done with the punch board. So now you have your scored pieces, and you just need to go around with your, fold them in and go with your bone folder. Okay, so I need to figure out which of these sides is a little bit longer, because on the card one side is a little bit longer. Alright, so this is the way we need our envelope. Okay. So what we want to do is we need to put adhesive on here. And this is a little bit more difficult to show you on a square card because it's a little bit harder to see. But if you watch any of my other, I have a whole playlist of making envelopes and punch boards, and I'll link over to that. But when it's more of a rectangle card, this is a little bit easier to explain. But basically, what I like to tuck in the bottom flap and then put the side flaps on, because you're gonna visualize that. So here's the edge of this, and so it's about here. You only want to put adhesive right here in between that spot. So I have, I think this one is 3/8, and it's just double-sided adhesive. Okay, and then same thing on this side. We're going to visualize it's right here and right here, so we need to put the adhesive right there. I like on the bottom flaps to use 3/8 tape, and then on the top flap use 1/4. The main thing is you just want to make sure that it fits within the guide that we were looking at. Okay, so you can look before you stick it, and you can see, yes, everything will be hidden in there. Normally in a rectangle envelope, these do not overlap, but with a rectangle or with a square envelope, they do. So you want to do, take off one side, stick this one, take off the other side. Whereas if you had the rectangle, you could just take them both off at the same time, because they won't get in each other's, they won't be anywhere near each other, but when it's a square, they do overlap like that. Okay, so we take both of those off, fold that up. I like to give it a little burnish. And then now that it's together, I do the bone folder on the edges again, just to make sure we're all lined up well. Alright, so now I'm going to add this on the top. And usually I like to add to just like a little, I think this is just me being paranoid or something about the mail, but I like to do just like a little one right there. And I'll leave these on until I get ready to mail. So one thing we could do is we can either leave this plain, or we can add one of the washi stickers. This is the washi sheets, also in the same collection. If you had washi tape, you could go around. You could glue one of the die cuts on. If you do that, just make sure you stay away from the bottom of the envelope, because that's where it will go through the postal machine and you don't want to get that ripped off. These are so pretty. I'm just want to do this swirly and then maybe put a butterfly on the front. You can just use your bone folder. Make sure that's adhered very well. Some of that pretty detail. And on here, I'm gonna grab one of these butterflies. All right, so there is our beautiful envelope. Let's see if this works. And normally also what I do is I cut a piece of cardstock that is the same size as my card base, and I run it through. I usually get a matching embossing folder to the occasion, so either like florals or happy birthday or whatever, emboss that, put it over the front before I put it in the envelope, just to help it go in and out of the envelope and protect the front. But we'll try to squish this in here nicely. All right, so we have our lovely, lovely envelope that matches, and our card fits in there perfectly. So I hope that you've enjoyed this project today. If you did, I would love it if you could hit that like button, or also consider subscribing to my channel. It greatly helps me get out my content to other crafters just like you. I will put on the end screen, if you want to hang around, my punch board playlist so that you can see the 123 punch board in action on other sizes of envelopes. And I will also put my card making playlist so that you can see some additional card inspiration. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and until next time, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and have an amazing day. Bye bye.